Hello and welcome, my name is Thalric and this is the introduction video for Season 2 of the Rekef League. We finished up our first season a while ago and everybody that played in the first season is sticking around, but we did widen our player count a little bit. We doubled it to be exact, so we are going up from 4 players up to 8. So let's take a look at the league and I'll talk a little bit about the setup. So here we are. All of the 8 teams are in. We are sticking with the round robin format because we all like that and it's pretty fun. So before we get into the new teams, let's see who returned. First of all, Pondosaurus, our winners from last season, played by Rob/Kejiruze, are back to wreck General Mayhem again. Yeah, so Rob and his Lizardmen are in, and I'll get into the details of the teams as we go through them. So we did not reset the league. Rob and I at least are sticking with our old teams. So yeah, we have a three match advantage, but that's fine. I think it's not too bad. And that's something you should be able to compensate. So that's his team, and yeah, he's going to be a problem. I think he had a very stellar performance in the first season, and I'm going to assume that he will keep going like that. Next up, we have my team, the It's a Numbers game, the Wood Elves, that you all love and hate, or whatever. So I'm keeping my team as well, with my lovely War Dancers and that Agility 5 player. Yeah, not much to say here. Then next we have Tim/Srab's team. He actually re-rolled his team because his Dark Elves took some heavy losses and he was a little bit crippled, so he basically took a mulligan and is starting over with a Bretonnian team this time around. And yeah, so let's see what he has going for him. He has 3 blitzers, 4 blockers, 4 linemen, and 3 team rerolls. Okay, so I think that's pretty much the best setup you can start with as Bretonnians. And I'm interested to see what he will do with them. I don't have that much experience with them, so I think this is going to be interesting. And last but not least, out of our last season players is Dave. Now, Dave was in a little bit of a weird situation. He didn't own Blood Bowl 2 himself. It was his roommate's account. And I think they're no longer living together or something changed there. And now he has Blood Bowl on his own account, finally. So he switched accounts and is starting with a new High Elf team, but thanks to the marketplace that you can use in Blood Bowl 2, he was able to transfer some of his players. So, for example, well, everybody that has experience already, because as you can see under history, he has not played any matches with this team. But he has players that have skills. So he transferred them, which led to him having less team rerolls, I believe. He had 2 in the last season, so I wasn't sure about that whole transfer thing, to be honest, but I think it doesn't really give him that much of an advantage over our new guys, and it's just a weird situation that he had to switch accounts, and I think it's okay that we handle it like this. So yeah, that's Dave and his High Elves. They're making a return, or at least about half of the team. Let's say it like this. Well, more than half, apparently. Okay, that's fine. Let's move on to our newcomers. So first off, we have the Orcs, played by AoKou. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. That goes for everybody that's going to come, and I apologize if I butcher your names. So he's going to come in with Orcs, so the league will get a little bit more bash heavy. And he's going for a setup with a troll. So he is starting with 2 blitzers, 4 black orcs, a troll, a Thor, 2 linemen, and a goblin. So he's going for a very high strength count. He does not have a lot of block. So that could be interesting. But having all of these high strength players will give him some nice options as well, I believe. And let's take a look at the staff. So he has 3 team rerolls and no apothecary yet, but that should be fine in all likelihood. Okay. Next up, we have Team Fortress 3, a human team played by Squiggy. Nothing about that name I can screw up, apparently. So I really like seeing humans in the league. They're a cool team, and you don't see them very often. But they can do a lot, and I'm interested to see what Squiggy will do with them. So he went with the setup without a ogre. I think that's fine. You can play them without the ogre, and he's chosen to go for 12 players instead, which could be good as well. So he has 4 blitzers, 2 throwers, 2 catchers, and 4 linemen, as well as an apothecary and 2 team rerolls. I assume he went for the apothecary because there are teams in there that already played a few games, and it's a league setup, so long-term thinking is something you have to keep in mind. And losing a key player in the first match before you have an apothecary, or the first 2 matches, depending on whether you win or lose, could be bad, so he decided to go for the apothecary over the 3rd reroll, which makes sense, I think. It definitely won't hurt. Hopefully. So yeah, that's Team Fortress 3. And yes, the pun is not lost on me. Next up, we have Trailer Trashed, which is the team I personally am most worried about. It's played by High Lord Salt, or as his Steam name is, it's 50 Shades of Salt, so he's all about the salt. It's Dwarves, and he is going for pretty much the standard Dwarves theme, I think. Maybe a little bit of a variation in there. So he's got both Troll Slayers, 2 Blitzers, both Runners. I don't know if that's the standard. I don't know too much about Dwarves, to be honest. And the rest are just Longbeards. But I don't look forward to playing against that team. Dwarves against Wood Elves, not my favorite setup. So he also has 3 team rerolls and no apothecary. Not surprising there. Dwarves are very resilient, and it's at least unlikely that he will get injured a lot. Okay, and our last newcomer are the School of Hard Blocks, a Norse team. And I kind of expected at least 1 Norse team to be in there. There was the possibility that we could have gotten more than 1 in there, but in the end only 1 took them. So we have iBrez, and here's another name where I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. So let's take a look here. He's got 2 Oathrunners, 2 Berserkers, 2 Runners, and the rest are linemen, as well as 2 team rerolls and 1 apothecary, probably for the same reason. And considering that Norse are pretty squishy, probably a good call. He does have a good amount of blocks, so he might not need more than 2 rerolls if he plays carefully. So, yeah, he's got blocks, yo. So these are all the teams, and we will keep things as they're going. I had 3 ideas on how we could set up the league, and let me just tell you about them real quick so that you know why we decided on what we decided for. So the first one was that we split up in 2 groups. We randomized the players, so we have 2 groups of 4, and after the end of the round robin, we have basically a final match between the first 2 of each group. We are not going to do that. The next one was once again 2 groups of 4, and at the end of the season, the first 2 out of group 2 are advancing into group 1, and the last 2 out of group 1 are going down to group 2, so basically a kind of a league setup. We decided against that as well, and in the end we just went with 1 big group, and we just play each other once. And we voted on it, and that one won with 5 out of 8 votes. So, yeah, which will make the season a lot longer, because we have 7 matches instead of 4/5 to go. So I think that's going to be interesting, and the league will start this Sunday, let's name a date here, at least in Germany, it will be, well, not only in Germany, but we do have a lot of time zones, so depending on when this comes out, it might not be Sunday. So it will be Sunday, the 22nd of May. So that's where we're going to officially start this. I'm going to start the competition today. At the moment it's Saturday, but the extra half day should be fine, I guess. So let's start the competition and check out our first matchups. And there it is. Okay. So we are starting things off with the Greywood Guardians against Pundosaurus, so it's Dave against Rob. The School of Hard Blocks against It's a Numbers Game, so iBrez against myself. Trailer Trashed against the Orcs is the Lore of Salt, or what it was. I already forgot his coach name, I'm sorry. Against, oh god, AoKou. And the Longfinger Jacks against Team Fortress 3, so Tim against iBrez. If I'm not mistaken, let me check that real quick. So that was High Lord Salt, okay. And I'm sorry. Yep, and Squiggy there, okay. So yeah, that's our day one matchup, and I'm really looking forward to this. The first season was a lot of fun. At least some of our new players have expressed interest in doing Skype as well. So I think that's good. Having the communication and getting everybody in there and participating like that should hopefully make for a very, very nice season. And I, of course, will keep recording my matches. Dave will as well, I assume, so you have at least that to look forward to. And I'll, of course, keep you updated after every match day on how everything went and what the current standings are. So, yeah, this is it, basically. We have a lot of variety. We still have no double team here because everybody tried to pick a unique team, even though they didn't need to. But I'm still happy that they did. It makes for more interesting matches that we don't have the mirror matchups. And we've got agility, we've got hybrid, we've got blocked bash teams, so it's an interesting mix, and I'm really looking forward to how this will develop. So yeah, that's it for the introduction of the Rekef League Season 2. I hope you will all enjoy it. I am really looking forward to it, so yeah, let's have some fun. And I hope you enjoyed this introduction. If you did, please leave a like and a comment. And if you want to see us play the league and stick around with the league and see how things develop, just, yeah, stay either here or at Dave's channel, so at Two Fools Network, to get your regular updates. And that is it for today. And as always, thanks for watching. I hope that you tune in next time, and have a nice day. Bye.